Hey, what's good, people? This is Chad Snow, aka Season, and I'm going to try to do a quick little tutorial, I guess you could call it, for recording vocals or how I go about it on my MPCX and Live. I don't have the Live here with me. I'm up here in the studio. Excuse me, and I keep the Live downstairs with me when I feel inspiration or whatever, and I just use it there. But I do work on vocals and whatnot on my Live too after they're done in the X here. But it's all done from my X. Now, I pull up a song I've already recorded called Fearless. Song I recorded from my baby girl, who's there she is right there, walking around. And I took the vocals off of it, and I'm going to show you, I guess in this video, I'm going to show you how I punch in my vocals. Now, I don't know if I can flip around the camera. There's my microphone. I use a Neumann. I got the eyeball up there with it, so I record everything right here, right into the X. And I do everything in one take. So when I record like my first verse, I record the whole verse, all 16 bars. And sometimes I'll screw up, and if I screw up, I'll stop and I'll do it over. So I get the whole thing in one take. And then I'll come back to the X here, and I'll make sure it's placed properly in the grid. Because I record them on my audio tracks. Don't touch that, baby girl. I record audio tracks, and I do... well, here, I'm going to flip this around, and I'll just show you. All right, so here's my audio track right here. This is a verse layer, I should say. Here, let me go back to, click up there. There's a spot for my hook. So I do my verses. These are all my audio tracks right up there. I do a verse. I do a hook right. I do a hook left. And I pan each one. 30 or 40 or 50, sometimes all the way. Excuse me. Don't touch that, please. Thank you. I do a hook center. So there's 3 audio tracks just for my hooks. I do a verse layer where I record underneath my main verse. And then I do a E track, which is like an emphasis track, where I might emphasize the last 3 words of a bar or something. That's on here. So that's 6 audio tracks. Hope that makes sense so far. Now if I hit play start, you'll hear the song start. Life's gonna knock you to the ground, don't let it. Keep it down, punch back, don't sweat it. Rainbows come and the storms will follow. Shine your light and don't fear tomorrow. Face the storm, I see the twinkle in your eye. Brace yourself, it never hurts to try. Run your race, stand up for the weaker ones. Win or lose, don't quit until the job is done. How do you know when the sky will clear and the birds sing those... So that you got a gist of the verses. And that was a verse with like nothing else. That was just my verses. And I'm not going to get into it now, but these are the plugins I use. I don't get crazy on plugins. I'll use a channel strip. I'll use a slapback, which is the air diff delay. And I'll probably do a video of that stuff too. And then a little bit of reverb. And that's all I do for my inserts. I don't get crazy on my vocals. I like to keep them natural. Please don't. Thank you. My girl's here trying to touch buttons. And then so I'm going to show you how I do my hooks. So I'll record my hooks on a different track, audio track, right? So I go to hook R, and I've already recorded them. So they're in my sample settings. And some of you might already know how to do all this, but I'm just showing you for those of you that don't. This is how I do it. You go to Browse Sample. Okay? And that's one of the samples there. I should have a hook R. There you go. Hook R, hook center. All right. Now, if you see here, excuse me, I'm going to have to bring my mic a little bit. If you see here, this is where you insert your stuff. And I write down, I have in my notebook right here, where I drop stuff in. Punch-ins with 8-bar intro, punch-in with 4-bar intro. And you see verse 1 is where I punch in at 4/4. Hook 1, 24. So here we go. I'm going to go here, 20, 4. Can't see. There we go. And then the tick should be 0. Okay? Then you hit do it. Excuse me. My little girl's crying, and she hit mute on the recorder. Don't touch that, girly. All right, so if I go up here and I can scroll, I use my Q links for this too. You can scroll to 22. Well, I got to get. Sometimes I just use my hand. There we go. 24 it should be, not 21/4. So I can just highlight this, highlight the whole thing, nudge it to 24, which is right there. There's the hook. That's just the hook right. Okay? And I know Lifted, he showed you how to cut this stuff off. And I'll show you really quick too. Hit the pencil icon. I go down to my Q link. It's back there. Bring it here. And then you hit shift and you can get in there more, but I'll just split it right here. Okay? Boom. Shift, and then you cut it with the cut. Shift cut. Which I'm going to do really quick, so hold on. All right, so that is cut. And I don't cut out my breaths. I actually like I like keeping everything as natural as possible. So I don't get in here and cut out breaths or anything. I keep them, if that makes sense. All right, so now I'm punched in here to 24. I cut that out, and there's my hook R. Now I'll scroll back into the verse a little bit, which will lead into the hook.
Win or lose, don't quit until the job is done. How do you know when the sky will clear and the birds sing those sweet little songs in the air? How do you know when the rain's gonna end so you can splash in the puddles all over again? I wish I could tell you all the things you need to get you through this life without a cut that bleeds. But first the test, then the lesson, that's true. It's not what you say, but rather what you do. Fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under fire, pressure builds diamonds. Fearless, stand up in the dark, my little boy, a princess, leave your mark, cause you're fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under fire, pressure builds.
All right, so I did the hook R, right pan hook, and now I'm going to add in the left hook. Sound like I'm talking about boxing. I go to browse samples. There's hook L. And when I do my hooks, I only record them once. And then I just use the same hook for every hook. There's 3 hooks in a song for my format. Verse hook, verse hook, verse hook. And I just record I record 3 versions of my hook, but I keep using them, if that makes sense. All right? And so now I'm going into the beat and the bar again. And like I said, with a punch in at 24. So 20, and then beat 4. There we go. See that? And then you hit do it, and there it is. I'm going to cut off that tail. Hold on, I'm going to put my phone down quick. I didn't really need to cut off that tail, but my OCD kicks in. I want to cut off more of that, but I'm holding my phone right now as I'm recording this. So I'm just not even going to worry about it. But I want you guys to get the gist of how much fuller it's going to sound now with a hook right and a hook left. It's going to sound even better than when I played it last time. I'm going to kick back a little bit. Actually, sorry. I'll go back to about 7:15. There we go.
How do you know when the rain's gonna end so you can splash in the puddles all over again? I wish I could tell you all the things you need to get you through this life without a cut that bleeds. But first the test, then the lesson, that's true. It's not what you say, but rather what you do. Fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage on the fire.
You can hear the body of it better.
Fearless, stand up.
It stands out more. And now I'm going to add in my center hook. Browse. It should be right there. 24. Tick 0. Do it. There's my center. Now I'm going to go back a little bit and I'll play it all together now.
How do you know when the rain's gonna end so you can splash in the puddles all over again? I wish I could tell you all the things you need to get you through this life without a cut that bleeds. But first the test, then the lesson, that's true. It's not what you say, but rather what you do. You're fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under fire, pressure builds diamonds. Fearless, stand up in the dark, my little warrior princess, leave your mark. Cause you're fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under fire, pressure builds diamonds. Fearless, stand up in the dark, my little warrior princess, leave your mark.
And there you go. That's three hooks, different layers. Hook right, hook left, and the center. And as you could tell as you were listening to each one of them, it added body to the whole hook section. After 1, then 2, then 3, and they're all layered together. And that's how I basically put things together. And I do everything right here on the locate section. So when I start punching things in, you can do it right here by hitting locate. And you can also do it right up here. So I'm came back down and I've got my Live II with me. But again, I'm still working on the song. And I have no, don't push that, babe. I got the verse layer right here. And I have it in sample edit right now.
Rise up, make your way. Love yourself every day. Blaze your trail.
So if you notice, when I use the layer track, I'm just saying certain words within the verse. I'm not saying the whole verse. So I'm not layering a whole verse, just certain sections of the verse. In the E track is more like if I'm doing like just like a yeah, or something like that. That's my E track. So then I have these verse layers, and I do that for each verse, for the first verse, second verse, third verse. And I lay those on the grid as well. Now I use the same format as I would when I'm laying the hooks in, as I showed you guys. And then it all comes together in a song. And I haven't done any of the mixing or anything yet within that. I haven't shown any of that, but I'll do another video of that as well. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little tutorial. I don't know if it's quick or not. I haven't put it all together. Hopefully it's about 15 minutes of how, once I've recorded, then how I put it in, punching in and putting them in on the grid using audio track edit and stuff like that within the X. I don't do that on the, actually I do it. Hold on. I'll flip the camera around. Okay, so I've punched everything in. And I showed you again in the beginning of the video how I did it with the hooks, but now I've done it with everything. So everything from my verses to my hooks to my verses layer, verse layer, sorry. And then to my E tracks are also in there. And then this is the final product of everything I've done, including the intro with my girl. Her voice is gonna pop in here, right there.
Life's gonna knock you to the ground, don't let it. Keep it down, punch back, don't sweat it. Rainbow.
And if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear the E track and also the layers if you use your ear.
Rainbows come and the storms will follow. Shine your light and don't fear tomorrow. Face the storm, I see the twinkle in your eye. Brace yourself, it never hurts to try. Run your race, stand up for the weaker ones. Win or lose, don't quit until the job is done. How do you know when the sky will clear and the birds sing those sweet little songs in your ear? How do you know when the rain's gonna end so you can splash in the puddles all over again? I wish I could tell you all the things you need to get you through this life without a cut that bleeds.
Here comes the
First the
hook,
test,
and I'll
then
stop
the lesson
after the
that's
hook.
true. It's not what you say, but rather what you do. You're fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under fire.
One pan
Crushing
right,
those
left,
diamonds,
one left, right,
fearless.
and one center.
Stand up in the dark, my little warrior princess, leave your mark, cause you're fearless with the eyes of a lion, courage under
That's who I wrote it for right there.
Don't
be shy.
In the dark, my little warrior princess,
Leave your mark.
Lesson 2.
So yeah, that's it. And I haven't gone into how I use my inserts and the mixing process, but I'll do that in the next video. And if you have any questions, shoot them at me. Leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to make more. Again, this is my first real tutorial. I'm just using my iPhone. I'm not hip on all the technology to use for making these videos, so I hope it worked out for you and you're able to see it and able to hear it and able to get some value out of it. And again, ask questions and can maybe do some more detailed, specific videos on this types of questions you might have. But again, I've been doing it for a while, recording these songs with inside the X Standalone. So I think I know what I'm doing, and I'm still learning, but that's, again, what these groups are for, and I appreciate it. So hit me up if you have any questions. Out.